Hi everybody, welcome back to the Alva Smiling Faces podcast, and it's the three we're back. You veterans of the podcast, no special guest because Mark's turned up.
I was here last week.
Yeah, like just drawn out good enough as a wee voice.
This is my second week back.
I know. So we're here to go over that draw against Watford, a game which started poorly, but we'll quickly move on to that. So starting lineup. Thoughts on that one? Was it what we expected?
Kind of, yes. I mean, there's not really... Well, first of all, the formation's a lot more like we're kind of wanting. So you've got two in midfield with then the three up top. They're not necessarily out wide, but we'll come on to that. Mm-hmm. But there's certainly three up top. I was still a little bit surprised Kraft started. I'll be honest. I thought that I thought that maybe Manquillo might have been in. I think it's now plain to see that that's never going to happen. Like, Kraft's the man now.
Kraft's the number one for Bruce by the looks of it.
But other than that, absolutely fine. Obviously, we knew Richie was out.
Yeah. Which is a massive blow. Let's talk about that. It's 2 months out.
It's a shocker. Well, I don't want to get too far ahead here, but the one positive is I thought we didn't miss his sort of attitude, even though we went a goal down really early. You would look at your likes of your Richies to try and gin him up. I don't think we missed him at all in that regard. I thought, which is a good sign. It's good, positive. But longevity-wise, obviously, he could miss what? Thankfully, there's an international break now, so there's 2 weeks gone, but he could miss 5-6 games or something, which is terrible.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's only a week ago, isn't it?
Not 2 weeks, isn't it? Is it not 2 weeks?
No, it's only next weekend, and then we've got Liverpool the weekend after.
The weekend after, isn't it?
We're playing 2 games, sorry.
Yeah, it's only 1 week off, really.
Right. Well.
But yeah, I think the starting line-up, it's probably as we expected once you knew Richie was going to be out.
I thought he was injured, actually. I heard that he was injured, but I think he put on Instagram, didn't he, ready for tomorrow?
Yeah, he looked like he stretched his hamstring.
Well, that's to give him a hospital pass. On the
Wednesday night, wasn't it? But
who hasn't pulled out during the last week? Jesus Christ!
Atsu gave him the worst pass ever, right from 5 yards, and he went to control it and just broke his leg basically. I was like, oh, for God's sake! But he's out.
But no, but I think it was the day before both the NUFC account and him broke the news that he was fit and essentially that he was playing.
Yeah.
So
that's right. Yeah.
I'm sure they're not meant to do that, but
but no, the team was what you would expect. You know what I mean? And I thought again, I was just happy with the two centre midfielders, given I'd say with Almiron to be up front, if you like, or out wide. So
I was quite happy with the team. As you say, there's an argument based on previous performances that maybe Manquillo could come in for Kraft, but it's as you say, I think he's been bought as that player that's going to be in there, and it's going to take something to shift him.
Do you think Yedlin might change that at all, or?
I don't think straight.
There's been no mention of him, really, has there?
Well, he's back in training now, isn't he? So there's been pictures of him in training.
I think he's only gone into light training though, hasn't he? He's not full on.
When did he get injured? Last year, wasn't last season?
3 games from the end of the season.
So that was Bruce's fault, probably. But
in fact, it may have been more than that, to be fair, because Manquillo played a few at the back end, didn't he? But he didn't have his operation until the summer, didn't he?
Yes, because he came out with a picture almost just like in hospital bed. No one knew.
I think he got injured and then came.
No, he got his operation a couple of weeks before then.
That's right, he did.
Because we were like, didn't he realise he was injured?
Yeah.
Then he had the operation.
That's right. So I personally would rather have Yedlin, but I feel like I'm really Kraft. I think positionally wise, I actually think he's very good. I actually really do. I think he's quite good positionally wise. He's switched on. I just love players with pace, and I know that Yedlin isn't the greatest defensively, but for me,
so what we mentioned on our instant reaction after the game on Saturday there was Kraft reminds me a lot like Dummett, but on the right hand side, where he looks like a solid defender, but it doesn't look like he's adjusting to wing back sort of role. And it's similar to what Dummett.
It's a strange one though, because I mean you just mentioned there about pace and having Yedlin, but Kraft, there was one point in the game on Saturday where he got forward and then they broke and he absolutely flew back down the wing and got back. So he's definitely got that pace. It's just you haven't really.
Of course, he's not
really seen it, have you?
It's like ridiculous.
I mean, again, I feel I'm going to get too far here, but there's a lot of times, especially in the first half, when we'll pass it around for a bit here and going out wide eventually. Kraft collects the ball, looks up down the line, and there was 0 options for him down the line.
Yeah.
So he just puts his foot and goes back to the cells. Yeah. And that's not Kraft's fault. We need to get wider. The 2 guys up front need to get wider to try and help the wing backs move forward. It's just too easy to defend against.
I think it's happening on the left side of the pitch.
what is.
Atsu's more available because
Yes,
I think
yes.
Williams and him were brilliantly
Yeah, they were
very, very well.
I feel the right-hand side, it's not happening.
Yeah, and I think it's because Almiron's, he's looking for the ball, so he's wandering inside, he's dropping back and stuff like that because
we'll
he wants
get
to
on
get
Almiron
involved.
later on because I think he's quite a big talking point later on as the
Exactly.
game went on. First of all, opening 2 minutes, we concede.
An absolute freak, isn't it?
Of course it is.
I mean,
of course it is. It's a goal where it's basically gifted. It's gifted Watford that.
It's out of nothing, isn't it? It's like they have a long punt forwards, the ball gets cleared, falls to them in midfield, their player picks it up.
It's a shot outside the box, isn't it?
He has a potluck shot, and just by some absolute freak, I'm not calling him a freak, but just a total freak occurrence. It cannons off Dummett, then it takes a deflection off Lascelles and then just falls into the path of Hughes, I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah,
And
well, there's basically two of them there in the boxes and they're waiting.
I mean, you can sort of dissect the goal a bit and look at like how they lost the ball and should someone have closed that player down earlier before a shot? I think yes, but the point Mark's making is correct. Like, God almighty, man, it's hit one player, hit another.
You can't defend against it like when that happens. But
it's a type of goal we concede, though, isn't it? That's I'm not blaming anyone for it. I'm just saying it's just a type of goal.
I was in the Melbourne Sports Bar for the game at the weekend, but I had a few pints before the game, so lost me bearings. Right? Completely lost me bearings, right? So I just keep on walking upstairs. Next minute I'm in level 7.
You ended up level
I'm walking down level 7, then I see the goal going on. Well, first of all, I'm in my wrong seat. I might just turn back around. So I walk right the way back down the steps.
Where's the Melbourne Sports? How far is that, really?
It's like underneath level 7. It's like your platinum
other side of where
you are. So you've got
other side of the
platinum
director's
corporate
box.
Melbourne.
Oh, right, okay, right.
So that's where I was.
Well,
but
the
I
platinum
ended
goes
up
either side, like.
right at the top.
Right.
Well, it's how you've got the strips. It's just the next strip
Next
down.
one. Right, I've got you. Okay.
But
So were you on your own at that point as well? Like just walking upstairs, or did you have someone with you? Or?
One of the lads was with us,
he had his carer with him. His carer was lost though. Carer didn't know what was going on.
Is the platinum club on both sides? Like?
Yeah.
I was right next to corporate. My seat was the seat next to corporate.
Yeah. Well, but platinum club's either side.
It goes like it's either side, but it's like layers like that.
Yes. Aye.
That you've got it.
So I used to sit the other side.
Again.
So where's platinum close? Platinum close towards the box because I was only about 3 rows from the back.
No, it's close further
down.
Further down.
Further down.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
So that goal just summed up kind of the rest of the game for them because every little deflection fell to them. Every 50-50 ball would go to them. We just couldn't catch a break. Like when you were passing the ball, if it would come off one of their players or come off one of ours, it would automatically fall to one of theirs.
Catch a break, but I think one of the reasons was because, let's be honest, we're loving it a bit, but Longstaff had a shocker in that first half.
Awful. Absolutely
shocker.
awful.
The amount of times I've seen that ball just go to nobody.
He was passing to the invisible man, wasn't he?
Is he struggling because of the injury, or is he struggling because of the expectation, or is it?
I think
does he just take longer to get into the game?
I think it's a combination of all of it. I think one, pressure, yes. I think two, the injury. I think he's over the injury, if that makes sense. But like to be back to match sharpness.
Yeah,
that's
I
what I
don't
mean
think
by
he's
that. You know what I mean?
speed yet, is he?
And I'd also have to say that he played 9 games or something last season, right? And he's got bags of potential. Yeah. And when you've got a player that's young and got loads of potential, you're going to get 1 or 2 games where he looks dynamite, and you're going to get a few games where he looks dreadful, or certainly average. And that's, I think we're going to have to accept that. I think moving forward, because I think what I would also say is a lot of times when them scored so early, I knew like they're going to just sit back now and can we break them down? Yeah, there wasn't much movement up top sometimes for him, and there was a few times he's looking in and there was just nothing there, but. There were some other times he lost the ball that was just sheerly just not uncalled for.
So I had the experience of, obviously it was me sister-in-law's fella who came with us. He's not a Newcastle fan, he's a Liverpool fan, but he's a massive football fan. So he was sat next to us, and it was good to hear an honest thought of it without like rose-tinted specs. And like throughout the game, he's what is Longstaff doing? I've lost count. If he's not making any sub, it's got to be him coming off because he's the one that's
we were possession left and
centre.
Well, I I've sat here for years now saying about Shelby, right? And I said to my dad about 10 times, definitely it was over 10 times, I said, if Shelby had done that, and then he lost it again, if Shelby had done that, And then I think he didn't try, but something else he did. If Shelby had played like that, Christ, people would have won him out the club.
Well, I think I mentioned this as well to the lad I was with. I said the difference. Obviously, we've only really got Key or Shelby to come on in that position. I went, the last two performances by both of them have been just as bad as what Longstaff's doing right now. And I said the difference that you get with Longstaff, if he loses the ball, he looks determined to get it back.
Absolutely.
I went, if you get that with either of those two current form, you're not going to get that.
Yep.
So it's best of a bad bunch on current.
You can't question his work. His work rate's unreal.
Yeah.
I watched him loads, and he's constantly running, never stops because he's young. Obviously, he's got the.
Well, so Flo, who I was also with, he said the one thing that's good about him, he still wants the ball.
Yes,
he's always asking for
I don't
the
know
ball.
because there was a
I didn't see him hide like.
There was a bit in the, I think it was the latter part of the first half where he didn't seem to want the ball, and it's not hiding from it, but he just wasn't. He wasn't making those little moves that he had to make himself available for a pass. He was maybe just standing still a little bit, or maybe a bit too close to one of their players. Whereas when he's wanting the ball on the game, he'll make a little movement away to make himself available for a pass. That I'm only talking maybe 10-15 minutes of the second half, and then it summed up his game, because then he started coming back into the game and started playing very well. But then again, he'd have another 10 minutes where he couldn't find a shirt.
So similar as what he'd done with Spurs.
It was quite
took a while to get the Spurs game as well, didn't he?
He did. I don't know if it was. I seen someone's rating of him. Sure, Joe Linton got like a 6, right, and he got 7.8 or something. I was like, what? Have I watched a different game now? What?
Dear me.
But yeah, I think it was Lee Ryder. I think actually give him 7.8 or something.
No surprise there then.
I thought. I agree with what you're saying. I think the lad's heart's unquestionable. I think he works really hard for the team. It's just worrying a little bit that he is losing the ball so easily, so easily. And
it's the passing to nobody.
Right, nobody. Yeah.
Like even when he's not under pressure or anything like that, he's just. Whether he's just not connecting right with the ball or something, and maybe
it's almost like
coming back
something that's not there.
Yeah, I don't know, but look, we know what he's capable of, and that's why he's you're giving him the benefit of the doubt. You just want him to click for him.
Well, sorry, the second half I'm going to say something, but it doesn't matter.
So as the first half went on, I thought we started to control the game a lot more. Yeah. I didn't think really Watford had the odd counter attack, but I don't think they ever really troubled Dubravka, if I remember correctly.
Not until much later on in the game.
Yeah.
Now, we had a chance straight after their goal, almost. It felt like about maybe at least 4 or 5 minutes later.
Chance.
Yeah, great footballers. I Atsu crossed it in. I appreciate it took a bit of an awkward bounce, but for me, you just jump up a little bit and hit that half volley. Almost.
Took a touch, didn't he?
Took a touch, which then the
killed it.
Keeper got it straight away. That's a hell of a chance, aren't they? That's a hell of a chance. There's no one around him.
Is that the one where Foster runs out and he clears it straight away?
Well, he just gets the ball, if that makes sense. Like, yeah, I'm sure.
The ball came across to the right hand side to him, didn't he? And he just had to hit it first time. Yeah. It was a perfect ball across, just hit it.
So I think a striker, well, he's not a striker, but a player full of confidence. Shaw's goal, right? It was in the same area, it was in the same position, right? Yeah. Yes, the ball came a lot quicker than what Shar's did, but Shar just hit that.
Probably a bit more difficult to hit it.
Shar just hit it. This Almiron, 6 yards out, whatever he was, thinks, I need to take a touch. And as soon as he took a touch, the keeper got it. And I think if he was full of confidence, he literally just jumps up a little bit and just side foots at it. I really do. But I agree, though. I think we did try to play football. Yeah. We were trying to play football.
We looked like we could play football at times.
I wasn't worried.
I wasn't. Nah.
Even obviously we got back into the game, but at half time, I was saying to Adam, we're going to go on and win this game easily, because I could see us. We were causing them so many troubles, and we just weren't getting that lucky break or the rub of the green. But getting back into the game, and with the amount of chances that we had, I could just see we're just going on and continuing from that.
So before we got the equaliser, if I remember correctly, Hayden had a great chance. Was that in the first half?
Was that the second half?
Second half. Someone had a decent chance just before we scored as well. Was that Almiron chance?
We had Almiron. I think Almiron had 3 good chances that I can remember. Did Joe Linton have one where he's?
No, I want to come on to Joe Linton. I personally thought he was incredible. I thought he was fantastic, but I just feel that he's fantastic. He's never had a shot at goal. He never had a shot at goal. Now, his hold-up play was absolutely tremendous. Yeah. Like, made it look effortless sometimes. His little one touches or a few touches that he did take getting out wide, I just feel that when he does that work, he then needs to concentrate on getting back in the box. It almost seemed to me that he would flick it over someone, say dance around someone, pass it out wide, and almost stand there and go,
Stop.
see what I've just done there?
Yeah.
Like almost observing what he's done.
Yeah.
But I honestly thought he was tremendous. I thought he looked really good, like classy. Looked very, very good.
I 100% agree with you. He's came under a lot of criticism for not being in the box. And I can understand the criticism because he wasn't in the box at certain times, and there was some decent balls where your striker should be on the end of those. But what you've just said, we worried about losing Rondon's hold-up play. He's just as good.
Oh, he was class.
Just as good, if not better, because he's more skillful.
There were some guys behind me giving him pelters because he never won a header off a goal kick.
You're never going to win a head against those two defenders.
Did you see the size of their defenders?
It didn't bother me, and I was going,
Christ.
it was almost as if they couldn't see that, though. Do you know what I mean? Like, yes, he wasn't winning a goal kick, fair enough, but every time the ball was played to him within reason here, it was like glue. Yeah. It was like
if
absolute
it's
glue.
going anywhere from here down over,
He had it.
That's his.
He had it every
anywhere
time.
up. A defender running from behind you, of their height and their stature. He's not
Well, it
ever
was-
winning that.
no,
He
it
don't
was-
mind winning it and controlling it.
Yeah, I agree to.
What's he going to win it and flick it back over his head to no one?
He hasn't won a head out of the big lad. Hasn't won a bloody head out of the day, him. And then he'd take it down, take on two players or something, bang it out wide. They didn't say a thing. You're
Yeah.
like, fuck off, man.
Yeah.
Just really annoys us, honestly, it does. But I thought he was tremendous, honestly, I did. I was really impressed.
He did. He played very well. And I think you said on Saturday you gave him your man of the match.
Yeah, so me, Mark, and Emil, instant match reaction was said who would give you your man of the match to. You went for Hayden or Atsu.
Both of those for me, Hayden and Atsu were brilliant, but I just thought Atsu had pipped it.
So mine was a toss up between Atsu and Joelinton. Emil went for Lascelles.
I think he
shocked me a little bit.
confused himself
For one run.
Shocked me. Obviously, you said
that
Lascelles.
run down the left wing was
You've been watching
unreal.
that same game? Obviously, he was like 8th on my list.
Well, what I would say though, he kept Andre Gray so quiet.
Yeah.
Gray was silent.
Gray did
and
nothing.
I thought Lascelles was very good actually, but I wouldn't give him man of the match for it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I thought he was good.
But the thing is like he'd sat there all game and he'd been raving about Hayden the entire match.
All right.
And Atsu, so I thought he was going to give it to one of those. And it wasn't until I said Atsu or Hayden, and he went, "Oh yeah, Hayden." That, and I think he'd meant to say Hayden and just like forgot about it and just went Lascelles and panicked.
Like you said, Lascelles on my face a bit. Really?
Yeah. I thought Hayden played well. I did. think
Yeah,
Hayden was good.
Hayden was
really
great.
good.
So let's get on our goal. Obviously, he came just before half time. Great time to score.
Perfect.
Sherman.
Shea, so
What's he doing?
starts.
What's he playing with?
literally starts that move, if I remember correctly.
He picked it up in the back five,
Yeah.
and he just carried it forward, and it
does what he does.
was like Moses parting the Red Sea, because he just went straight through them, up in halfway through their half, laid the ball off, but then you just think, right, now you're just going to jog back to where you came from.
Midway through that first half,
He just kept going.
He looked like the only player that was playing football on that pitch because he's so comfortable with the ball.
Yeah.
And he just doesn't give a shit who was in front of him.
It was ridiculous at times, like his runs.
I love it when he does that because 9 times out of 10 when he collects the ball, everyone's marked.
Yeah.
You would expect to be anyway. So when he starts carrying it out, the other players don't know. Fuck. If I go and close it out, Longstaff will be free or whoever.
Yeah.
So then sometimes they don't come out.
Well,
They just keep.
Well, for the goal, they
I
didn't.
know.
He just,
Wasn't it
he just
last season the Burnley game when he scored?
Yeah,
after
when he
the
scored,
game?
yeah.
Again, just comes out
just
with
running.
it, and that's why I love when Lejeune plays because Dummett will not do it, but Lejeune
does
he
it
does
the
it as
other
well,
side,
and all of a
doesn't he?
sudden
Yeah.
you've got two playmakers almost coming from centre half, which I love. But again, you totally agree. Now I agree with Mark saying that he comes 60 yards. Passes the ball, you would expect him to go right. Retreat.
Yeah.
No.
Just I'm going to keep on going,
which is tremendous.
It's like there's a magnet just attracting him, isn't it? He's still going.
So it's funny, isn't it? Polar opposites of the Arsenal game of he collects the ball quite far out of position, passes it, it doesn't retreat back. We'll concede, and I blame him for that. I think he should get back. Then you've got to this week where he actually gambles even further.
Yeah.
And then scores, and you're like, oh, best in the world. So you've got to take the rough with the smooth, haven't you? But it was a great finish as well, though. What so calm.
Well, I think before that, Atsu did very well for me because he gets crowded by 3 players and he manages to come out with a ball and plays it out wide to Kraft, who then takes a little touch and puts a lovely ball in, and then Hayden again is there in the mixer where you probably expect Joe Linton to be.
I'm going to be honest. I honestly thought from where I was sitting, I thought it was Almiron. You know who had scored.
Yeah.
I did, and I thought, mint, he's got his goal, and it wasn't until I seen him run away when actually that's not Almiron.
Yeah.
So because I just don't know why it was left-footed. I expect him to be in that kind of area. Because I didn't think Shea would have went that far.
No,
you know what I mean?
you don't, do you?
So yeah, but I agree with what you said about Atu there as well. I thought he did really well for the goal. He looks full of confidence, so doesn't he? When he gets the ball, he just looks head and shoulders above players.
Different player.
Hughes. Hayden's been fantastic.
And
Atsu as well.
Just like, you know, like when he gets the ball, like he seems so like, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, like, well, like flared. You know, he's got loads of flair. Yeah. Like he's just skinning players, like left, right, and centre.
I mean, that's it. We sat here, you know, last week saying, oh, he's had another good game, but he, you know, it's typical Atsu. He'll not keep it up.
Yeah, I said that.
And then you come to another week and he's done it again. I thought him and Williams, as I said earlier, were fantastic. They linked up very, very well down the left hand side. They just seem to have clicked and got an understanding very quickly. There was a few occasions maybe where I thought Williams could have overlapped a bit more and got up alongside to give a bit of an option, particularly in the second half. But they were brilliant. They were just linking up nicely, playing little 1s, 2s with each other.
With Williams, I think sometimes it's a toss of a coin. I don't know what I'm going to get from him. So during that game, he done some fantastic things. But there's other times I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, what have you done?
Yeah, no, I agree.
I don't know how to judge him as of yet.
Yeah. He did some great things in the first half, like in dangerous areas as well, like just letting the ball run, turn, things like that.
So he done it in the bottom corner and just went up the line.
There's no doubt there's a player there, like there's no doubt.
I agree.
But obviously to score at that time, I was so convinced would come out the second half and win. It
was good time to score.
I think
wasn't
everyone in that ground thought we were going to go on and win that. Like,
I thought we played really well. I'll be honest, I did. I thought
so
we were okay.
We'll come out with the second half, and it's basically the same as how we finished.
We got better. I thought.
I did.
Literally, them couldn't come forward.
Yeah,
we just won the ball back early on the press again, going forward.
And the chances were there throughout. Like,
there's a move, right? Honestly, I don't know when it was. Right, I just have to say this move. We'll play a ball up front. Joe Linton yet again controls it really well, but halfway line-ish, gets it out wide. We'll then play Atsu in. Atsu backheels it to someone. We'll then go out wide to Williams. And then Williams crosses it along the deck. Oh, it was unbelievable move, that. And I thought Atsu, if he had a slid, would have gotten there. Yeah. It happened all so fast, but Atsu was like in a number 10 position running towards goal. He just decided to backheel it to, I think, Almiron. He then gave it up to Williams, and then Williams like a low crossed it. So it was a fantastic.
There was a few shots. So obviously there was one, the Hayden. Great save that. I was up thinking that was in that. Like I was up celebrating.
It was very close.
Everything was fantastic. That, and there was another one later
Longstaff had one. Like,
so Longstaff had a similar one, but then Almiron had one where similar what you're talking about. The ball, I think, might be Atsu again towards win. He just cut it back.
Perfect.
And I was like, that's perfect. Then Almiron shot. And I was,
it's a goal, you know. No, it's a goal. Have you seen the replay though? From behind, from like facing the goal. Sorry, I've seen the replay. It's in. It's right in the bottom corner. But
does the keeper say what? As a defender,
no,
this defender, isn't it?
Dives in and hits his thigh. It's a hell of a block, you know. Honestly, it is. But people might say you shouldn't give anyone a chance from that range. I don't know. I think it was a good strike personally. He hit it first time.
Power in it as well.
Yeah, power. It was in. I'm telling you, it was in. But you know, just it seems to be his luck, doesn't it? Bless him.
He can't catch it, can he? Yeah. Just he can't get that luck. How long does it go on for though? Like.
Well,
do you think people are out already?
They're out now.
They're out now.
Yeah. And the
that was
problem
one of the
is,
questions a couple of weeks ago as well.
Even the Chronicle have had a go today. What's he called?
They're not helping the situation.
He's had a go.
I don't think they're helping at all. They're putting like not that I'm on Twitter much now. I said I'd be off for 60 days. It didn't last that long, but I'm on
6 hours.
I'm on a little bit, but not much. They're like putting things on like, do you think he's not finished? That's the wrong word. Sorry, but do you think he's been a success or not? Like a polls. Why even put that in the? Why put it in the mix? Just fucking leave it, man. And for me, I was talking to someone downstairs just there about him, and I appreciate he hasn't scored or got an assist, right? But he offers so much to him, man. He offers so much, and for me, it's ludicrous to have a go at him. Like he's working hard for the team. He's doing as much as if not more.
Do you think sometimes he's working too hard, wanting the ball too much?
I think that's part of the problem that he's having in front of goal is that.
He's out of position a lot.
That desperate to get a goal is that he's snatching at things. He's trying too hard, and you know most great goal scorers when they get the ball in front of goal is they're calm, they're relaxed, and they just took it away. They pick the place that they're going to put it. But he's getting it, and he's just. It's like how he plays. He's like an excited puppy all the time, isn't he? And he's just a million miles an hour. So he's just.
If you go back to his first game when he's 1-on-1 and he loves the keeper,
If that goes in,
how calm was
what
that?
I'm saying, how calm that is.
Exactly.
I'll chip you. It's fine.
but I think that's
then now all of a
that's
sudden,
the thing.
Yeah.
If that had have
Yeah,
gone
I know.
in, then you've got a totally different player in
I
your
think
hands.
the first chance, I personally criticise him more for the first chance in the first half by taking the touch so close. Whereas that one, it came across and he's hit it first time.
Yeah,
it's
instinct.
not really, you know what I mean?
But confidence-wise, if you're full of confidence and calm and relaxed in front of goal because you've scored a couple of goals already, you take that first time.
He
I
was,
agree.
He
You don't-
was offside a
take
few
that
times
touch.
throughout that
Constantly.
game as well.
Felt like constantly. Yeah.
He
I
was
thought
offside.
that was harsh on him though, because
the one where he took it
there
past
was lots of
Foster.
there was lots of times where he was
Wasn't
caught
offside,
offside,
apparently.
but
Wasn't it?
I've heard it wasn't.
he was making that many runs and going and pointing, but he wasn't getting the ball. So it's a little bit like Cisse was. You know, he's
You're
just
right,
he's just too quick for the pass
Gameplay.
coming.
He reminds me of Lovenkrands in that sense off the ball. Like, honestly, Lovenkrands used to make a great movement. He's a bit like that. The kind of criticism I'm going to have to give him here is I just feel that he needs to stay out wide more because think of it logically, right? If he stays out wide, he's got one man to beat and he's in. Well, not necessarily in, but he's certainly on his way to goal. He keeps coming inside all the time and he's just coming into more bodies. And there's loads of times he picked it up wide, then he starts drifting in, and all of a sudden you've just got a banker four and a banker four. If he stays out wide, gives Kraft a bit more of an option down that wing, he could skin any fullback with pace.
Yeah,
Because he can go
no,
either
great.
way, really.
Yeah.
I know he's left footed, but he can go either way. I just think he should stay out wide a bit more.
I think that's the problem though, is he's used to playing the left side of the pitch.
He was on the right.
True,
wasn't
he's on the right.
But
yeah.
he's the last couple of games he's played out on the right.
Yeah, because
So
Atsu obviously
he's-
Atsu is no brainer on the left hand side. He's form that he's
Atsu
in.
can play that side. He's done it in the Championship a few times. He scored a couple of good goals, cutting in and bending it, you know what I mean? Maybe that's why the played on are on there thinking,
They did
he's good
swap
enough to
briefly
come in
in
come
the
inside.
in the first half, the two of them as well.
So
The swap sides.
Mutu comes on. How do you think he done?
I thought he was good, actually.
Yeah, I liked him.
He's a steady player, and I know he's another one.
He
that
made
hasn't
some
been
very, very
hit the back of the
good-
net
good
often, but
runs.
Jesus, he's,
I'm going to say a
movement.
bold thing about him, right? I think if he played as many games as Perez, I think he'd score more than Perez.
probably agree.
I really do.
Yeah, I probably agree.
If Atsu wasn't playing as well as he was, I'd play Almiron left side and Muto
Yeah.
right side.
Yeah, I agree with you. as well.
Obviously, that chance towards the end as well, perfect. Lifted
What a
pass.
Joe Linton.
what a run!
If Joe
what a
Lennon
move,
should be
but-
on the end of that though. He shouldn't be.
He's doing
yeah,
that.
He's
work
doing
for-
everything.
I know.
Yeah.
But I think that would really work. When we're doing him up front, like I really do. I think if Joe Linton's going to do the work that we've seen him do,
Yeah.
I just think if he's flicking on or
He's
playing in
busy.
runs,
He's fast. He's got movement. He knows where to be.
Obviously, Atsu gets a chance. Mutu gets a chance as well. Where we're through. Yeah. A great player once again, and he just keeps on running and running, and then it gets to the point you win. You've took too many touches.
I felt that for
I
me.
didn't think he had too much off at all. Like
He didn't, but what I was shocked
Well-
at, he kept on. He ran in a straight line.
yeah,
I was really surprised. He had the pace on the line.
Yeah.
I was just surprised that one of his touches didn't bring him more
In
central.
over.
And then even if that lad comes in, he's probably going to foul you. I was really shocked that he didn't come more towards. He just kept going straight.
The defender was on his shoulder the
Oh,
entire time, so it's not like he's
And he's
got away
Mutu's
from
running
him
with
kind
the
of
ball.
thing.
He had to hit it
Yeah.
earlier, didn't he? Though?
I think as
Yeah.
soon as he gets into the box,
Yeah.
You've got to
that's
force
where
a
he's
save
got
from the
that's
keeper.
where he's got to take his shot. But
Another touch.
I don't know whether his feet just weren't quite right, but he just had to
Steady
take another
himself.
couple of touches. And then I think what he was then doing is, right, I'm going to have to try and get wide of the keeper and force it in the near post. But
What do you think about Bruce's substitutes? It was a strange one. Schar goes off, and
Yeah.
Atsu goes off. Is this down
well,
to
Schar
injuries?
was illness, wasn't it? He was feeling
Was it?
Yeah,
Oh, I was
so
going
he
to say,
came
'cause
out.
those were the best two players, I would say.
Kris came out and said he was feeling dizzy and sick at half time, but he still went out the second half. But he was just getting worse. He couldn't see the ball. So to me, it sounds a little bit like concussion kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, I'm going to just go back for 2 seconds. Longstaff had a unbelievable free kick he put in. Schar should score to free header, and he puts it wide.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember,
What
yeah.
a ball from Longstaff. Considering where he was, he's
Shaw
almost.
coming on the left hand side, like
Aye.
strawberry corner in over.
Yes, aye.
Yeah.
He's almost like. Longstaff's almost where Bruce would stand, if that makes sense. And he bent the ball in such a way. Shar's unmarked, he put it wide. That was a hell of a chance. His substitutions, again, the same lads who were giving Joe Linton shit, were going ballistic when they seen Fernandez coming on. What fucking head home, what you doing, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just thinking, like, people just don't understand football, do they? Like, if Rafa had made that sub, there would be no questions asked. It's just uncalled for that, and I agree. I always thought at the end of the game we'll understand why he's done that.
People
And
seem to have that
that's why he's
reaction.
come off.
People seem to have that reaction when it's a like-for-like substitute, though, don't they? Obviously, Manquillo comes on for Kraft on the right back.
Which was a fine. I agree with that one as
Manquillo
well.
done well when he came on, let's be honest.
I thought he'd give you a bit
Pushing
more
forward
away.
once again.
To be fair, I thought that was a sensible decision to make because I think Manquillo always, when he comes on later in the game, gives you a lot more options down the right-hand side.
He's quite a quick
and
player as
gets-
well, isn't
yeah,
he?
Yeah.
He's going to be fresh compared to the players you're facing.
And Manquillo,
It's like bringing on a winger, essentially bringing
is,
him on. Yes, he's got to do a defensive job while he's on there in that wing-back role, but you're making that change so that he'll push forward and create you something down the right.
So
which he
Manquillo
did.
and Atto are two players that I probably wrote off last season. And both of them have done well since pre-season onwards.
Definitely
really.
say Atsu, because Manquillo at least played a little bit.
Yeah, I thought Manquillo was good at the end of the
No one
season.
even talked about Atsu. Everyone's just on about Saint and Almiron up front. That's all we talked about, wasn't it? I was one of them.
So one of the questions which I asked Mark after the game was, is St. Maxim going to struggle to get back in that team now? And he is, if Atto keeps with that
100%. Yeah,
absolutely.
Based on the way he's playing at the moment, you cannot leave him out the team.
No, you can't.
No, I agree.
So Atsu came off. Well, I think Atsu came off because he's been out for so long. Hasn't
He was knackered, absolutely knackered. He ran himself in the ground.
Yeah, and obviously Fernandez, and then you had what was the other one? Sorry, there was another.
Who comes on?
Udo came on for Joe Linton.
Oh, Manquillo for Kraft and then Schar for yes, that's right. Yeah, so no problems at all. I thought the Manquillo sub made perfect sense. The Atsu one for Muto, perfect sense. And if Shar's not feeling a bit dizzy, you get him off.
Yeah.
Perfect. No problems whatsoever. Anyway.
Yeah, so it wasn't Joe Lynn that went off, was it?
No,
it was
Joe.
Atsu, Kraft, Shea.
That was it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the three that went off.
Yeah, oh God, yes.
Only three,
So
yeah.
I'm thinking
Because
Muto
Joe
went off
Lavin
for...
and
Yeah.
Muto had the chance later on.
It did seem. I think we changed shape tiny bit when Muto came on. We almost went two up front rather than the three, which is fine. It is what it is. But
Do you think that's points drop though? Or do you think we've done well to get back in the game?
well, first of all, I have to honestly applaud them for the character they've shown because we were 1-0 down really early. I've seen Newcastle crumble at times like that, and for me, you couldn't question any of the attitude. I thought we're the better team by a long way, personally. Even though towards the very, very death, when nearly got caught 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
But that's football. It is what it is. What can you do? You've got to try and push on for the win. You're at home. Dubravka pulled off a wonderful save. I think it was off Success, perhaps. I'm not sure, but anyway, he pulled off a great save. But you're going to get caught sometimes, aren't you? But
That's all they had, though, wasn't it? Was it hit and hold balls
them
over
were
the
shit,
top?
in my opinion. They were shit. Absolutely shit. And I think we're better than them. And I do feel it's 2 points dropped.
Yeah.
But I'm still trying to remain positive of the performance, if that makes sense.
I agree. Anything else to add?
No,
The attendance, what was your thoughts on that? There's a lot of people crying about it.
So attendance-wise, yeah, like
44,000.
it's one of those games where I'm looking around thinking this is a lot more empty that I'm used to, especially in the Premier League. A game like Watford where you think we might actually win this one.
I don't go and cry me chips about it. I'm not arsed, really. I'll be honest. I'm not really that arsed. It doesn't help when Watford bring 10 fans. Like, I mean, there was 3
Well, that was
there,
part of the problem, wasn't it? They didn't have many fans there at all.
No.
So the top level 7 of the Leazers was there.
It's not very often you see
they generally
big
go on.
patches of empty
there
seats
was big
at St
patches,
James's
yeah.
Park.
East Stand, there was massive ones there. But that East Stand
Leazers
It was
Yeah.
notable for me in
Leazers
the underneath the level 7 of
Yes.
the Leazers. That was empty there.
Do you think there might be questions here, and I'm going to, but I'm just interested in your opinion. Do you think it'll get less and less as the season goes on? Like, so it's 44, it might be 42 next year and 38, or what do you think?
Totally depends on the opposition.
Okay.
So if we played Arsenal, Man United, Man City on Saturday,
It's a good
there'd be
point.
50,000 there.
Yeah.
Because the away end would be sold out for starters, so there's 5,000 or 6,000. Am I right in thinking that?
Yeah.
And then you're going to get, there's loads of people in my end, to be honest with you, just come sometimes to see the opposition.
You get the day. Well, that's it.
It's a day out, isn't it? So yeah.
So,
yeah.
but
It
as I say,
bother us,
there's
especially
stuff.
like
There was plenty of positives in that performance
I agree.
for me, and the people that are making a big deal about the attendance are making a big deal because they're trying to say that there wasn't 44,000 there. It was less than that.
Yeah.
Well, there probably was less than that. Well, there probably was less than 44 because the stats that it releases the tickets that have gone out the ground. So there probably was less than 44,000. But
It doesn't bother me. I don't know why. I couldn't give a fuck.
you should have a full stadium, shouldn't you? Well, we've criticised other teams for not selling out.
Well, exactly. But
Yeah, but
the problem is the people that are complaining about the attendance and
The ones
that it's a fake
boycotting.
are the ones that aren't going.
yeah, it's
that
a
are
weird
bothered
argument
about
at the
it.
moment.
Yeah.
It's
So
weird.
if you're not that bothered about going and you want the stadium to be empty, why are you complaining that the
I've noticed
stadium's
a lot of
Yeah,
people.
they're not celebrating.
not
are
as
they?
empty as
Yeah.
you think it is?
Aye, it's a funny argument.
I've noticed a lot of people criticising the club it's a strange one because I don't know, like what's the best way I can say this without pissing too many people off.
Whisper in my ear and I'll say it. I couldn't give a fuck.
I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's just the people that have sat there and said, "I'm not arsed about Newcastle anymore. It's dead to me. It's Sports Direct FC." They're the ones that are commenting the most about the football club.
Yeah.
Because they're full of shite, man.
So it doesn't matter. I couldn't get. It doesn't matter who the owner is or what's happening. You still want to know what's happening at the club. You can't just cut ties like that.
Totally
you can't.
Totally
and fair enough, if you want to stay away. It's your choice to do so, and I congratulate you for doing so. It's something which physically I can't do at this moment in time.
Yeah.
I've done the Arsenal game, massive failure. So why do I need to do that again? So I'll be there for the rest of the season. But I don't know.
No, but you're right.
It's
I read so
they're
much.
caught more than anyone else.
Yeah, I read them saying, I've washed my hands of them, I don't care about them anymore, they're a dead football club. Well, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. But then why are you still tweeting everything and reading everything and commenting on every bad pass or every... Fuck off. Like, if they're that... Like, I don't understand the relevance of that. Like, if I was at that stage, then I would not... I remember, the worst I have... Honestly, truthfully,
You just shut up.
the worst I have ever felt probably was the Kinnear period. That's how I felt, right? Speaking to someone downstairs about the night, that's honestly the lowest and the most angry I've felt was when Kinnear come in. The whole thing was a shambles.
Which time?
By the time with the
Manager
kebab and all
one,
that.
manager time.
I literally lost. I really lost the plot them days. Like I was in a bad, and I really did wash my hands. I didn't go back there, and that was the point where I got to. And I don't know if maybe because I've been there before, I'll get wrong for this. I don't feel it's as bad now. As bad as it is, I don't feel it's as bad as that time.
The Kinnear time.
Oh, Christ, I've never ever felt as angry or as low as that. I honestly didn't, and that's just how I feel about it anyway. Like, you know what I mean?
Right, we'll wrap this one up because we've got a few
not bad.
questions which have been sent in about a bit of everything that we've touched on. So once again, thanks to Guillermo Clothing, thanks to GEORDIE Gifts for sponsoring the podcast. You do get discount on their website if you do use the codes, which will be in the description below. Subscribe to the channel. Keep on pushing with that a little bit further.
Subscribe on Facebook as well. Have a look at the new
so,
group and page on there.
We've got a new Facebook group as well, so we're kicking on with that one. And just enjoy what we're delivering.
You'll still find one on Twitter. We're still on there, obviously.
Putting loads of content out at the minute. Loads.
Get on the socials.
See you later.